Good morning. My name is Brian McNeill.
And I am LisaSantiagoMcNeilll.
And thank you for joining us on our show, Let's Talk About It. We come to each Monday through Friday right here on the SIBN network, on iHeartRadio, YouTube, TuneIn, as well as Facebook Live. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Like.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How you doing? How did I make it through the storm? How did I make it this far? I made it this far by the grace of God. Come on, sing along with me. How y'all doing? Friday? It's Friday. I'm going to get you high today. It's Friday. You ain't got no job. Good morning. My name is Brian K. McNeill. I am half of the empowerment duo. You've chosen to join us here this morning on Let's Talk About It. Tonight, you're going to rock with the men, folks. You're going to talk today with just two of the smartest, most handsome, most loving, most supportive, most wise men. You're going to have two wise men, and maybe that'd be a good top name for us, too. Two wise men today. I'm going to do today's podcast with the great Jay Mattier. Maybe we should get Uzama in the room too. Good morning, Uzama. You want to come on live, man? Good. Have three bros in the room. But that's what we're going to rock with today. Just the men. Just the men focus. Friday. Friday is always Shout Out Friday. But I wanted to tell you guys some stuff. Yesterday, I did something that I've never done before. Yesterday, I gave a very transparent talk about me. I spoke to an audience and I told the story of me and my growing up and all of that. And I spoke for 36 minutes about my life. And it was healing. It was cathartic. It was tough. And I told about painful times in my life and what I've learned and what I used those times. What it did was it shaped me into the man that I am today. It shaped me. All those painful things were life lessons. All those things that hurt me, I learned from those things. So Uzama said he would love to, but he's at a vendor. See, that's what Uzama does. He's always moving and shaking. Um, Uzama lives life out loud. I love talking about Uzama Ra because Uzama's over 60 years of age, but he still takes classes. He still signs up for stuff. He still goes to concerts and outdoor concerts. He still travels. He still makes sure that he's getting better. He's willing to try stuff. He'll try this and he'll try that. He'll try this again. And he finds areas that he can put his passions to. That's what I love about Uzama. That's another reason I love Uzama because he lives his life out loud. He's not small and mousing it. So I was telling you guys, I spoke yesterday about me. And the question to you is, could you do that? Could you talk about yourself to an audience for over 30 minutes? Are you willing to tell that story? How would it come out? And the reason I'm bringing it up because I've never done that before. I've never done that before until yesterday. I've never spoken about my life like that until yesterday. Never have. Why not? I've never told the story of Brian before. Not like that. Nope, nope, nope. So could you do it, Uzama? Could you stand in front of a room and tell the story of your life? Could you do it? I know I told Jay I'm gonna bring him up at about 9:15, but I like to bring him up earlier than that. If you're ready, can you like wave your hand or something if you're ready? He's ready. Good. Angela McNeill, excuse me, Angela Mitchell, Mary Kay Mitchell. Angela, how you doing, Angela? Happy Friday, Angela. Could you talk about yourself to an audience? I'm telling your life story for over 30 minutes to an audience. Could you do it? I would love to hear that. Could you do it? Would you do it? Would you be willing to? Would you be willing to tell the story parts of your life that are not so pretty? Would you be willing to tell the story of your life that's not so pretty? When my talk was done yesterday, people kept saying, I had no idea that you had went through that, Brian. And one lady asked me a question, Jay, I'm going to bring her up in a moment. She asked me a question after the talk. That question nagged at me the whole day. She goes, Brian, how could you have gone through all of that and not end up bitter? I never even considered being bitter about any of those situations. I never thought about staying pissed off. I was hurting when it was going on, but I wasn't bitter about anything. But she heard my story. She goes, "How could you have gone through that and not be bitter?" Coming to the stage is my friend and yours, Mr. J. Mattier. Good
Good
morning, sir.
morning, good morning, good morning, Empowerment Dual family. How is everybody doing today?
I'm super excited to have you here, Jay. Jay,
Yes.
we normally talk money and money principles, and we'll do that today too, because he got some stuff on his mind. I just wanted to tell that story a little bit. But Jay, she asked me, how could I have gone through all that and not end up bitter?
You know, you do go through that season. There was a season that you were bitter about it, but then you became more mature and started to understand yourself better of it. And so now you understand that that's what made you who you are. And it's interesting to talk about stories because everybody's got one. And
Yeah.
everybody has multiple chapters in their stories. There's the good, there's the bad, and there's the ugly. And what you did was very interesting to get in front of an audience and be that transparent. Because sometimes it's like taking your clothes off in front of the audience and just letting it all loose. And that takes a lot of courage, a lot of bravery, and a lot of acknowledgement of your own strength and inner being. So I take my hat off to you for that.
You know,
If I told my story, I don't know if the FBI would be waiting out there for me. If so,
exactly. Uzama Ross says, I could with an exclamation point. He said, I saw the founder of Good Cakes and Bake do it yesterday in class. She was the best presenter. She was the best presenter so far, and she had 0 slides. I don't need slides, okay? And your audience don't need them either, speakers. I'm telling you right now, your audience don't need your slides. Your audience needs you. Uzama goes on to say her story was fascinating. Her story was. Good morning, Malik. How you doing? Malik Williams Bay. He says, good morning, gentlemen. I'm here after finding videos with you speaking on business development. Thanks for all your content and your enthusiasm. Well, welcome, brother Malik Williams Bay. Malik, brother, we're going to put you right in the game. Malik, could you talk about your life story in front of an audience? Fridays are always shout out Fridays, so you're welcome to shout out your business, your cause, your book, anything you want to celebrate. You can post links today. Today's the day for that. Jay, I will tell you, Jay, one of the things that you said earlier in me knowing you that changed how I saw you, that endeared me to you. Because we were in a men's meeting, and I was telling the sad story about my dad. My dad was not always faithful to my mom, and how it made me feel, and how my dad got on drugs, and his body changed, and he wasn't always nice. But I also said that my dad did teach me things too, and he did love it, and he protected his family. And I was saying all of this stuff, and when I got through speaking, Jay Mattier said to me, Brian, I've been your dad. I'm your dad. I've been all of those things at some point in his life, not today, okay? But he had spent a season of his life playing all of those roles and all those characters, and that changed how I saw you, Jay. That made you more attractive to me and endearing to me for you to say those words to me. Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's interesting and powerful. And anybody that I believe anybody and everybody who's successful or have had any success has gone through those periods of down and ups and downs. And when I talk about tracking your life and how you can pinpoint the times in your life when you were at those high points and at those low points, and you could almost chart and forecast how you're going to handle those things, especially financially. But to be able to share those stories, you never know. It might be a life-changing event for somebody else, because there's somebody out there that's sitting in the same position you were in and wondering what to do. Am I going to overcome? How can I get through this? Am I alone? What can I do? Can I get out of this isolation? Can I do, whatever it is? And you rely on God, you rely on your experiences, your prayer, your support system. That's why our men's and women's groups are so important. Yes. And just to be able to not be alone, because everybody has a story in them. Like Lisa says, there's a book in everybody.
Amazing. You should say that. There's a scripture that says something. We are something by our testimony. We were healed by our testimony. Some of you guys will know that scripture, something because of our testimony, and how the Bible commands, you're supposed to share your testimony. The testimonies that you, and I'm talking about the good and the bad, you're supposed to tell that story because it will heal somebody else. We are healed or overcome or something by our testimony. You're not supposed to go through something and then keep that story to yourself. Malik Williams says, I am, share my story, but share with confidence is what I'm working on. Amen. Thank you for the transparency. It's oversharing the traumas instead of amplifying the triumph. Y'all see what Brother Malik said? He's sharing with confidence. But sharing with confidence is what he's working on. And oversharing the traumas and instead of amplifying the triumph. I don't know Malik well, but I would say to you, I would almost be willing to say to you, you don't have to worry about oversharing the traumas because there's somebody that's been worse off than you, and there's someone that will be healed because of you. Jay Mattier and I share a friend who just yesterday, Sir Charles Carey, just yesterday announced to the world that his doctor told him he's completely blind in his right eye. Yeah, he lost sight in his right eye. But Charles Carey has this thing. Well, I'm just going to use the good eye. That's
Right.
the eye I have. That's what his attitude is. It's a strong attitude about that. Okay, look like you looking up something, Jay.
Yeah, I'm looking for something. It's interesting that I had this, things are fluid. And I had a talk that I was going to do today because we always talk financials, but I also had something that I had wrote for such a time as this. I wrote it and put it aside, and now I was like, where is it? I'm trying to find it because it ties into this perfectly.
I hope it comes to you, and I hope it does because I bet it's awesome. I bet whatever you was looking for was awesome. Okay?
Yeah. I gotta find it. But
Normally
anyway.
on Fridays around 9:15, Jay gives us a financial lesson. He spent his life learning financial principles. How do you become wise in finance? How do you become wise in anything? Through experience. How do you get experience? Through bad decisions.
Right. That's where you get experience. That's where the rubber hits the road.
But you get wisdom through the bad decisions and
From
living through
learning
the
from them.
experience. Jay Mattier says so he's like my financial guy too. But he's been coming on here for a while and everybody finds value. So in 3 minutes, we're gonna launch into whatever Jay's prepared for his financial talk with us today. But I remember another thing you said, Jay, amongst the many things that you said that stick with me. And I'm gonna say this out loud, and I know a lot of y'all are not gonna like it.
Found it.
You found it good. I'm gonna say this out loud, and I know a lot of y'all not gonna like what I say because I didn't like it the first time I heard it either. Okay, but it resonated with me. He's Jay Mattier, that man right there, that nice looking guy right there, said out of his mouth, financial emergencies are for broke people. I mean, no, let me say something. Financial emergencies are for people who don't know something about money or being broke.
Emergencies are for broke people.
Emergencies are for broke people. Financial emergencies are for broke people. Not for. I don't want to be broke people. And you ain't talking about me like that. I got a financial emergency, but I'm not a broke person, man.
And right away, Ryan made plans and started his journey on not to be broke.
Right. Because I don't want to wear that. I don't want to wear that.
He said, wow, you're talking about me.
It didn't feel good, Jay, at first. But a lot of times the medicine don't taste good. Okay. So what did you find that you want to share, bro?
Oh, you want me to do that now, or do you want me to do the financial? Oh, you know what? Forget the financial. I think this is more important.
Okay.
We talk about transparency and people going through things. And what happens in life, you never know what somebody is going through. You never know. And the worst thing that you can do in some cases is to be silent. Mm.
Mm-hmm. 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 Mm-hmm.
And what you want to do one night, I got up, and I think you do this a lot of times. One night I get up and write.
Mhm.
You just get this urge, and you
I
get
do.
up and you write. And I wrote this some time ago, years ago, probably. And I was going to actually submit it to an organization, a suicide prevention organization.
Okay.
And but I didn't, but I always kept it. And it always every once in a while pops up. So I thought that, as a matter of fact, this is what I was going to use when you had mentioned me coming on Thursday when you're telling your story and everything. But you can't tell, well, I can't tell my story in 30 minutes. I could probably tell a chapter in 30 minutes. But I
Hmm.
wanted to just share this with you.
Okay.
It's called God Spared My Life. It was about 3:30 in another restless night. My spirit was troubled, but I tried to ignore it and go to sleep. The harder I tried, the more troubled I became. Then it hit me. A memory was in my mind, a memory that I've often had, but not as compelling as this. The Spirit encouraged me to go get up and write this message to you. Lately, there has been a lot of talk about mental health and suicide. You hear it everywhere now, and people are getting more comfortable with talking about it and realizing the impact it has on our daily lives. Back in the day, for a Black man to talk about mental health was unheard of. People
Hmm.
were labeled with being crazy, sick, mental, or retarded. However, I'm here to tell you it's none of those things, and the struggle is real. I hope through my testimony, it will touch someone and let them know they're not alone. There is a light at the end of the tunnel. You just need to get through there. It was around the holidays, as I often, as it often is, when people are troubled. It could be something from your past, childhood trauma, losing a loved one, loss of a job, trouble with drugs, alcohol, or legal and financial troubles. Many times it's shattered dreams or taking the wrong fork in the road. You pick it all leads to sense of hopelessness, anxiety, and depression. You feel like the world and everyone around you would be better off without you. This is what happened to me. I had reached that point in my life. I was full of anger and regret. I was at the peak and didn't care. My first thought was to kill my family and then myself. However, what would that solve? I was the problem. So after that traumatic episode for my family and they went to bed, I sat in the dark and thought of killing myself settled in my mind. I had been prescribed Prozac because at one point I did seek help, but it was at an it was an exercise in futility. I realized that talking to someone once or twice and getting some medicine was not the way out. Like any other chronic disease, you must work on it continuously. I had everyone fooled except for the ones in the inner circle who saw me for what I was, sick. The sadness and the urge to end it all took over and took the whole and I took the whole bottle of Prozac pills and laid down. It was that peace I had been seeking my whole life. More now the rest of the story. Unbeknownst to me, because this was a popular drug people used to commit suicide, they had removed the active ingredient that would cause harm to you. My wife found me and rushed me to the hospital where I got my stomach pumped and stayed under observation for a couple of days. While laying there, I thought, what have I done? I thought about the ones that would have been left behind. The anguish and sadness having to tell my story, or would they really? Would they continue to protect me and to hide my demons? They trusted me to be there for them and to take care of them, but I was overcome with my own selfishness. I realized the impact I would have on a community. You see, I learned that no matter what you do, your actions impact somebody somewhere. That's why I'm here. And God spared my life so that I could tell you, whoever, wherever, or whatever you've done, you can be saved. I hope this touches someone and lets them know life is worth living, if not for you, for the ones you love and that love you. They can't make it without you, and your value is worth your weight in gold. So don't be afraid or ashamed to talk about it. Share your feelings, get help. You'll be all the better for it. Amen.
Amen. Oh, wow. Amen. And oh, wow. What a story. I almost want to pause right now so people can hear all of that, reflect. I want to catch up the comments too, but I want to keep talking about this. That was incredible. Thank you for being patient enough to read the whole thing. I appreciate that. Uzama Ra continues his earlier thought where he says, after she shared all her struggles, then successes, she dropped the bomb and talked about how she hires returning citizens as bakers. When her son returned and 60 days later was killed, she worked her business so hard during that time that many of her associates didn't even know. Malik Williams Bay goes on to say, shout it out Fridays. My company, 1BBM Solutions, we're an SDVOSB firm in the facility support services industry with a unique system that we use to secure non-competitive and, and federal contracts. I appreciate that, Mr. Malik Williams Bay, but I will tell you, when you use a lot of acronyms like that, if people don't know what they are, they may not even ask you. They'll just not know. They may just not understand. I don't know what an SDVOSB is, and I have to decide, do I want to ask or not? Okay. But it probably means something to him. And when people say stuff like, well, it means something to the people in our industry and the people that don't understand it are not our clients. Well, you could say that and it sounds macho, but the average American knows about 600 people. And there's this thing called 6 degrees of separation in the world and 3 degrees within your city. That means somebody you knows somebody who can connect you with anybody that you want to connect with. The average American knows 600 people. So the more people that understand what you do, the more people that understand your story, the better. Go ahead, Jay, man. Thank you for that.
Yes, 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 yes. So, that's a chapter. Everybody has chapters. If you need support, talk to somebody, get help. And as part of your story, never be ashamed. And that took me a long time to never be ashamed of your story, because your story could save somebody's life. So,
Yesterday, part of my story that I told was when I was deeply depressed and I thought about taking my own life. And I went to get help because I couldn't even work. I had a good job. I didn't want to go. I didn't want to get out of bed. I just was depressed. I was just not happy. I was crying a lot, and I mean, yeah, I was in that place, Jay, man. even after having sex with some woman. I'd have sex with her and I'd be in the bed crying. She must have been like, what the heck happened? I was deeply depressed. And I went and got some help, and they asked me some smart questions. I mean, some real good questions. They asked me, um, do you ever think about taking your life? And I said, I think about it all the time. And they said, well, if you did it, how would you do it? And I had an answer. I told her I would probably drive my car into a building or crash into something or drive my car off a bridge or something like that. That's what I said I would do. And they determined that this man is in a place right now where he's a danger to himself. And they kept me that night and they put me on a really good drug that actually helped me. The drug that helped me was Zoloft. And because they deemed that I was chemically depressed. When the stresses of life get on you, people, you have cups in your inner ear and they have fluid in them. And when you get stressed or taxed or tried or challenged for too long, some of the fluid from one cup goes into another cup and your chemicals are off in your body.
Right.
You find yourself not able to function right and you don't know what's wrong with your body, but you're chemically off. It's like a car missing a piston or sputtering. You can't remember nothing, you can't think of nothing, your emotions are all over the place. That's where I was. Okay. So I was chemically depressed, and that drug evened me out. It actually helped me.
Right.
Malik William Bay says, thank you, gentlemen, so much for sharing. Thank you for the tip, Mr. McNeill. You're very welcome, sir. You're very welcome.
And the interesting thing about that too, Brian, is a lot of people think that you have to be down or you're in the bad valley or whatever. But at that point in my life, I was actually doing really well. I had a great position. I was making good money. I had investments. I was actually doing. People would look at my life and say, "What do you got to complain about?" So it doesn't really matter what position or what point in your life you are. It can sneak up and attack anyone, anywhere, at any time.
And I'm so glad you said that. I was talking to a lady the other day. She's making more money than she's ever made in her life. She just had her biggest income week. She got a big contract this week, and she's not happy. She's taxed, she's stressed, she's worn out, she's tired. But the life she has is the life she's dreamed about having for a long time. But now it's kicking her butt. Okay.
And what happens is that some people sabotage their lives. Some people get to a point where they don't think that they deserve to do good.
Come on with it.
Happened. And I've told you this story, even myself. One day I was riding down the street in my convertible, just happy, just life is great, life is wonderful. Then all of a sudden, a cloud came over my head. It was like, why do you think that you deserve to be this happy? This.
Wow. Yeah.
And it just killed my whole vibe. And it's like, so sometimes your inner self sabotages. You say we have those tapes of our past that run in our head, and we can't shut them off. And when we get to a good place, that's when they come up and they say, well, yeah, you're so great now, but remember this, remember that. And then you kind of just lose your enthusiasm and your whole being. So one of the things that I would suggest to people is to understand how not to sabotage yourself. Allow yourself to be happy.
Come on, Jay.
Allow yourself to feel good. The past is the past. Leave it there. Leave it there. You have the capability of leaving it there. Fill your head, your mind with other things, with intentional things, with affirmations, with things. You control your life through your mind. So.
I love that. Allow yourself to be happy. Allow yourself to feel good. Jay, I think that's such good counsel. But I want you to talk a little bit more about that, because I do believe there's some people do sabotage themselves because they don't know if they don't feel worthy of it. And I also believe, Jay, that some people don't even know how to allow themselves to be happy. They don't know how to do that.
Right.
Okay? They've never done it before. They don't have any experience with it. Good morning, Dr. Leroy. Shirley Dejanette Wyatt says, good morning, family. Peggy's in the hizzy. She says, good morning, fam. I'm so happy that Shirley and Peggy are in this room right now. We're talking about this is still Shout It Out Friday, but what we've been talking about is can you tell the story of you? And Jay and I have gone down a wonderful route, and we end up talking a few minutes now about those dark sides, those dark times, that depression period. How do you get through it and all those things? And Jay read a beautiful love letter he wrote. I'm gonna call it a love letter to yourself this morning, and it was great. So Peggy, I would love your perspectives, and Dr. Shirley Jeanette Wyatt, Dr. Leroy McKenzie Jr. says, "Gentlemen, have a great day. Hashtag finish strong." Dr. Deborah Dunstan, I'm so glad that you're here today, especially about what we're talking about here. Good morning, Dr. Deborah Dunstan. Peggy says, where is Lisa? Lisa's here. She's upstairs. Lisa's got some other stuff that she has to do this morning. So she can't be in two places at once. So, but we got Jay Mattier. William Brown says, William Brown, I'm so happy that you're here today, too. Happier today, fam. Jay just said something, man, that's kind of rocked me a little bit. We was talking about people that we know that are in a place where they're achieving, they're getting stuff done, but they're not happy. Jay just confessed he was happy. He was driving his convertible, top down, wind in his hair, all that kind of stuff. Happy, and then the cloud came. Who do you think you are to be this happy? You don't deserve that. And it brought him down. And then he said, we have to learn to allow ourselves to be happy. And I countered with, so many of us don't know how to allow ourselves. We have no training or concept. How do I let myself be happy? How do I allow that to go on? I really think that's a big deal, Jay. And I don't want to get people dressed up with no place to go. I don't want
Right,
to tell them allow yourself to be happy and then don't teach them how. I
right,
think it's a
right,
con.
right,
Okay.
right, right. So what happens is that you understand you know what you've done, you know what you achieved, you know what you did in the light, you know what you did in the dark. But what you have to do is you have to gain from those experiences. You have to take those experiences and decide who you want to be moving forward. One of the things that you can do is, and Brian and I do this, is write. You can write to yourself, you can journal yourself, you can understand when your peaks and valleys are, and to understand your life, that you can almost forecast your life. Talk to somebody. There's no shame in the game anymore. And it's funny, on the West Coast, it was like a badge of honor to have a therapist or a psychiatrist or whatever. And everything moves from the West to the East. So it's taken longer, but now it is becoming more credible and more accepted on the East Coast. So take advantage, talk to somebody, whether it's a professional, whether it's somebody you trust, whether it's a friend in the inner circle, whether it's a religious leader, but be able to talk to somebody, because you can't keep things bottled up.
But
What
let me
happens?
jump in here. Let me jump in here. There are resources that anybody can access to talk to a professional. There are professionals available to anyone through either any kind of insurance you have, you'll have it. Any kind of, even if you don't have any insurance, you can reach out to behavioral health people. There are resources available to anybody to talk about these
Right,
kinds of I want
right.
to catch a couple of comments, Jay, please.
Mhm.
Dr. Deborah Dunstan, I'm so happy that you said this. She goes, depression increases during the holiday season,
Yes,
especially if there is also financial concerns and grief. Dr. Deborah is a professional and she knows what she's talking about. That's part of healing journey. That's what she does. We always talk about it here on the podcast,
right,
especially in December. Those
right.
songs, What You
November,
Will Only Do at Christmas. It's dark
right,
earlier. My wife has confessed here several times. Seasonal, what's the term? Seasonal depression or something like that is a real thing for her.
right.
Um, Peggy says, Peggy, I Am Prosperity Evans says, I started a walking journey when I was in a place of depression and overwhelm. I walked for 3 hours some days and left the worries in the universe. That's what I'm talking about right there. A strategy. You don't want to
Right.
just tell people to get over it. You want to give them
Right.
a way to get over it, because if they don't know how to
Right.
get over it, they never will. Get them dressed up
Right.
with some place to go. William Brown says, for the empowerment family, I have one pay. What you can ticket to my path within retreat next Friday to Sunday in the mountains of North Carolina Highlands. He's doing a retreat. Spiritual. I don't think he used the term spiritual retreat, but a mental health break, a retreat where you can get away from your current. That's the other thing, to get away from your current environment, travel to the mountains in a beautiful area, communing with good people there that can help you to discover yourself, to uncover some stuff, to heal. That's what his retreat is about. William Brown's the perfect person to facilitate that. My wife is going to be one of the speakers there. And I think he's highlighting that if you still want to go, there's an opportunity. Uzama Ra says, I can't get to it. He goes, hashtag Freedom Friday. Celebrate unsung hero Aaron Swartz, who fought for hashtag digital freedom. Embrace hashtag Bitcoin and privacy tools to continue his legacy at coachuzama.com. Thank you very much. William Brown says, DM me for details. I think we caught up. Okay, Jay.
So life is like a pressure cooker, and you've got to release. You've got to be able to release. So we talked about writing. We talked about walking. We talked about talking to somebody. You've got to have a release for that. Talking about, talking your way through it. Being able to exercise is a great, but even the whole idea of, we talked about in the men's meeting about getting outside and being part of nature. Put your feet on the ground. Be able
Grounding.
to, grounding. That's what we talked about, grounding. And the retreats are fabulous. But the thing about it is, you go to them, you feel all great there, and then you leave and go back to the same world. So you've got to understand how to carry the principles that you
Yes.
learn in those retreats and carry them with you.
Can y'all
So
believe
that,
that in the men's meeting we talked about taking off our shoes and socks and standing on the grass, standing on the ground, and spending some time barefoot and getting ground? That we really did
right.
in the men's meeting. Yes.
And I think this is so appropriate because it's November through December,
Yeah.
and those are the holiday seasons, the family seasons, the time when you're supposed to be joyous and supposed to be happy, but you're not. And
Yeah.
you think, and I've gone through this myself, and you just say, if I could just get to January. People feel so great when they go into January. They just feel so great. They've left that year behind. They've left that baggage behind. They've left that pressure behind, and we move into a new era. So you've got to be able to continue on that road to move yourself, because you've got 10 months to get yourself ready for the 2 months that are going to bother you.
I'm going to do some writing and maybe some speaking today on that. I don't want any of my friends living their lives like that. If I can just get past the holidays or get past these 2 months, because days matter. One single day matters. A day matters so much. You get 7 of them in a week. If you waste one single day, you're going to reap the benefits of that. Okay, which is your money's going to leave, your happiness is going to leave. But days matter. Those days turn into weeks and then months into years. If you waste a day, you're on a slippery slope to wasting a week or a month. Days matter. I don't want any of my friends. I don't even want my friends thinking about just make it to Friday. I hate the term hump day. Now the rest of the week is on a downslide. Once I get to Friday, then I'm gonna live. I want my friends to design a life so every day can feel good. You don't have to wait till the weekend to enjoy your life. That's what I
Right,
want, my friends.
right,
Okay, that's what I want.
right.
Um,
So,
that's
what you have to do is, first you've got to accept it. You've got to acknowledge it. You've got to accept it. And then you've got to have a plan to help yourself out of it with regards to the whole depression and this whole season. What would be helpful is to get out, embrace the season. Don't stay in the house. Don't drown yourself in sorrow. Get out, get outside, go to some festivals, go to a play, go to the movies, get out, do something with your love, do something with your kids. Do something with your kids if you're fortunate enough to have children, but do something. Don't
go uptown to your city or the little cities around. Go uptown if you don't have a plan, because they'll have something going on, some kind of holiday festival or something. Just go to Concord uptown, Brownsville uptown, just to see what's going on. Go to Charlotte, whatever city you're in, and there's cities around there. Around the holiday season, they decorate, they do stuff, and just put yourself in that environment. William Brown says, Jay, you are correct about retreats. I have designed my retreat to help with integration when you return home. William Brown, I'm so happy you say that, and I really, really pray that you bang that drum hard at your retreat. Look, at some point, this retreat's going to end, but your life's not going to end. You're going to go back. And it's like people who come to the altar with their troubles.
Right.
And they say all their troubles at the altar, receive
and they pick it right up.
and pick it up again and take it back to their seat. You're supposed to leave it there. You're supposed to leave it there. Okay.
So like I say, with regards to money, don't, manage your money. Don't let your money manage you. Well, manage your life. Don't let your life manage you.
Ooh, Jay. I've heard it said, I love that. Manage your life, don't let life manage you. But I've heard people spend less time managing or designing their life than they do planning a vacation or planning a trip. They spend more time planning that trip than they do designing their lives. And at first, I didn't want to believe that. But then I started thinking, okay, how much time do I spend on it? Okay, and I'm a regular guy. Manage your life and don't let life manage you. Dr. Beverly, I think you would have loved this conversation today. She says, Grand Rising to my favorite, awesome, beautiful family. I've loved it too, man, Jay. I've gotten so much out of this talk with you today. It's 9:42. Did you have something else you want to offer?
No, we can move on to the songs. Oh, as a matter of fact, this day in African American history.
Yeah, we got to do that. That's right. I put it off because we were such a good at 9:30 when we normally do it, but we was in such a groove. Let it go. Dr. Beverly says, manage my life. Don't let my life manage me. I need that book now, Jay. She is quick to tell somebody else to write a book. That's what she do. She'll give you a title. Hey, this is the title of your book, Jay. Go ahead and write it because I need to read it. She'll do that on you. Today is November the 7th.
That's an excellent idea, Dr. Beverly, and I'm still waiting for a phone call from you.
What? He calling you out, Dr. Beverly. We have been journeying through the day in African American history, 366 days of historical events and accomplishments. And this book is such a treasure. So every page has 4 or 5 or 6 some of these historical facts. I'm gonna read one. 1983. 1983. You guys were alive in 83. Harvey B. Gantt was elected as the first African American mayor of Charlotte, North Carolina. During his career, he served on the Charlotte City Council from 1974 until 1983. Gantt was also the first African American student admitted to Clemson University. How about that? In 2009, the African American Cultural Center and the city of Charlotte honored Gantt by building the Harvey B. Gantt Center for African American Arts and Culture, recognizing his contributions to the civil rights movement and as the city's first African American mayor. That's 1983, Harvey B. Gantt. Let's go with one more. 1990, 35 years ago, Sharon Pratt Kelly was elected the first African-American woman mayor of Washington, D.C. She became the first African-American woman to lead a large city. That's not that long ago. Thank you very much, Jay, for a reminder. It's 9:44. Craig Saab, good morning, Craig, says, day/weekend. Good morning, Craig. Did I miss anybody else? Okay. Craig Sabs. Yeah, I got a few. Craig Sav says, great day and wonderful, blessed day on purpose and enjoy it to the fullest. Dr. Beverly comes back in and she says, I was on the phone listening to a prayer from my cousin for our bloodline and testimony of his heart failure that has reversed because of the patch and change of lifestyle. He said he knew if I pray with him, God will hear him. Amen. He's talking
Amen.
about the patch. She creates these patches that help heal, with properties to them. So you can reach out to her for that. I heard you, Craig. Now we're about to say thank you the way we say thank you on this podcast here. And the way we say thank you, we're thanking our consistent contributors. What's a consistent contributor? Because you're someone who says something in the comment section that we can read aloud. Like for example, today the first one up in the room was Mr. Uzama Ra. And Uzama Ra's got a song. He's been contributing regularly for a long time. He's got a song that goes, Bitcoin
Bitcoin
King, he's
King,
the Bitcoin King,
Bitcoin King,
Uzama.
Uzama.
Bitcoin King, he's the Bitcoin King, Uzama.
Uzama.
You mean to tell me there's a man up here singing to another man? Yes. Angela Mitchell, you deserve a song. It's a happy Friday. Uh, Malik Williams, man, you keep coming, you're gonna get you a jam. Miss Phyllis George has one too, and it goes, Miss Phyllis
Miss
is here.
Phyllis is here. Miss
So
Phyllis
clear
is
the way. Miss Phyllis is here. Now we can all have a great day.
here.
How cool is that? To know that when Miss Phyllis is here, everybody around can now have a great day. Alfred Perry, I missed you, bro. He says, thank you both for having such a positive, life changing, and life saving platform. Much brotherly love and respect. Mr. Alfred Perry has been a consistent encourager of both me and my wife and this podcast in general. Thank you, Mr. Alfred Perry. Shirley DeJohnette Wyatt has a song, and it goes, Shirley DeJohnette Wyatt
Why it
will
will
rock
rock
you,
you.
rock you. Shirley DeJohnette Wyatt will rock you, rock you. That's Shirley DeJohnette Wyatt's jam. How does she get a song? She contributes regularly. Peggy, I Am Prosperity Evans, she's got one too. I'm going to do it in my Biggie Smalls voice. Peggy, 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 can't you see? Somehow your words just hypnotize me. She's gonna motivate you every day. Peggy J. Evans is here to stay. Peggy, for the last 2 days, as I'm at my desk, I've chosen to listen to songs by the Notorious B.I.G. And man, I've forgotten how skilled he was lyrically. Lyrically, this man's amazing, man. The way he put his rhymes, he has poetry in his rhymes. If you listen to some of his stuff, man, I spend days trying different people. Like Eminem, I spend the day listening to just Eminem stuff. Amazing. Dr. Leroy McKenzie, you so deserve a jam. Help me find you one. You've been contributing regularly. Dr. Deborah has a song. Goes, Dr. Deborah,
Deborah.
nonprofit strategist and funding coach. Mhm.
Mm.
Nonprofit strategist and funding coach is not big enough because she does more than that. Dr. Deborah Dunstan also has a very robust healing ministry. Healing ministry. That's what she's about. Thank you for being in the room today, Dr. Deborah Dunstan. William Brown's got a song too. And it goes, Good morning to
To
our
my
friend
friend
Will.
Will.
Nobody thinks like him still. We love him so, and we always will. Our friend Will. William Brown was in the talk He was in the room when I gave my talk yesterday, and it was so great to have lunch with him afterwards. That was great too. Let's see if we miss it. We did Osama, William Brown. Let's see. Dr. Beverly has a logo that goes, Dr. Beverly is on the show. Good morning, Dr. Beverly. And good morning
Good
to
morning to
you and
you
the
and
rest of
the
your
rest of your
crew.
crew.
Craig Sab, 1,000 degrees. You'll be on your knees and you'll be burning, begging, please. Brother Freeze, Craig, let me borrow your VCR so I can dub a tape.
Double
That's
take.
Craig Sab's jam. Malik Watt Williams Bay says, wow, love the inclusive songs. LOL. Man, Malik, we've been doing this. This podcast has been live like this since October of 2016. Yes. And I will tell you, Malik, just from this chair here, the ability to do it the way we do it today is miles different than it was in 2016. The technology's gotten better. It was hard to do this in the beginning. There was a lot of glitching, and we didn't have all the functions we have now. I marvel at how much easier technology has made doing this. You know, Dr. Beverly goes on to say, the job now wants me to work from, let's see, the job now wants me to work from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. for the next 2 weeks because the owner is coming to the store. They want him to meet me, but they are not sure what day he's coming. So for the next 2 weeks, I'm going to not be phone friendly. I'm going to be chasing sleep. Let's pray for Dr. Beverly. Same thing like in the military. When you know some big wig is coming, they make everybody, they work everybody to death. Okay,
Right.
you got some big wig coming, you got to clean up everything, you got to work harder. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, it's not a motivator when the big wig comes. It's not a motivator. It's like, dang, I can't wait for them to leave so we can get back to normal.
Right.
Shirley Visionary Wise says, have a blessed day, everyone. You too, Shirley. All right, we've caught up all the songs. We got a couple of minutes left. Jay, what you got?
Hey, just great to be here. It was I think the Holy Spirit moved the whole topic and the whole situation.
Yes, sir.
We were prepared for it. And I think people really needed it. So, we just want to pray for everybody, and we want to make sure that you're able to get through these holiday season. Again, embrace the holidays. Don't let it manage you. Reach out to family, reach out to somebody to talk to. Be inspirational to yourself as well as to others, and be intentional about how you want to manage your life. Manage your life. Don't let life manage you.
That's the drop the mic moment statement right there. I think you're right, Jay. I think people did need this. It's so often funny how innocuous things can make a lot of difference. It could be something that we just chit chatting about, and someone caught about it, and you don't even know. Well, I don't know, Jay, but what part of what we talked about today is going to be what somebody particularly needed. It could be something small or big. It could have happened early in our time, or it could have happened just now. Okay, but at some
And,
point,
and
go ahead.
that's so true, because I wrote this years ago,
Yeah,
and it just surfaced. And it was, I really think for this time that it was a time such as this that it prepared me for it.
somebody said they look for the replay. Peggy says this was good with an exclamation point, and then Peggy says it was good. I mean,
There you go. Yeah, for those that came on late or missed it, get the replay. You're going to enjoy it. You're going to need it. So,
yes, yes. Shirley Dejanette Wise says thank you, Jay. All right. With that, we're gonna let that be the last word. You guys have a beautiful weekend. Please allow this week to end. Have some recreation and start your new work week rejuvenated. Rejuvenated. See, you've been juvenated before, but then you get taxed, and then you have to rejuvenate yourself. All right. God bless you guys. Hang on, Jay. God bless you guys.
in the words of great Dr. Lisa, in the meantime, in between time, don't forget to have sex.
Thank you, sir.